Jim Edwards here, backstage at Polaris 6 at the London O2 Indigo. I'm joined by Michael Venom Page, who has been sat out the front there watching a few of the matches with me.
Yes.
Michael, where do we start here? Like, it's been a long time since we've seen you, so let's take it from your first professional boxing debut. You had that fight, you won. What have you been up to since?
It's just at the moment it just feels like I'm just training a hell of a lot. Training a hell of a lot in preparation for a fight. I literally don't know when it's coming. We've been going a bit back and forward with the Bellator guys, and it kind of feels a little bit like, as much as they were happy to let me box, at the same time they don't want me to do it too much. So it's a bit of a, because there was a show that I could have done yesterday. I was at the show supporting Joe Joyce and Willie Hutchinson, who both won, and I actually wanted to be on that show. And Bellator wanted me to commit to an MMA fight before actually committing to a boxing fight.
Sure.
So I kind of get it, but now I may not be able to do an MMA fight until like April, May, which again I could have had this fight and been comfortable enough to do that. But it's not in my hands at the moment. But I'm just eager to get back, whether it be boxing, whether it be MMA.
So there is still that I guess boxing career that is on the side of what your MMA career is. Bellator still happy for you to do this?
I guess I'm sure they would say that.
Yeah.
Just based on what's happened, I think they would prefer me to just be focused on the mixed martial arts. I think it's almost trust in my ability. They don't get to see me train. Yeah, they don't. So they kind of have to go, just judge it based on, I don't know whether they judge it by just people sitting down. If they saw me train, I guarantee they'd be comfortable for me to, like, go and box. Yeah, come and do another MMA fight. You can go and box, but they don't get to see me do that. So sure. It feels a bit frustrating that I have to kind of keep persuading them that I'm capable of doing both, and it's okay to allow me to do it a bit more regularly. But I'm sure they'll start to come on side very, very soon. And the more I do it, and the more they see me do it, the more they'll understand my level, and then you'll see me do more, both, more regularly.
Yeah. So what is the kind of mix up in training at the moment? How much boxing are you doing versus how much mixed martial arts are you doing?
Well, to be fair, at the moment we're focused on a mixed martial arts fight, so we're doing a hell of a lot of mixed martial arts. But we've got a new boxing coach that's just come in, and I'm just doing a lot of pad work with him, a lot of bags, a lot of pad work, and that's just to keep my arms ready. It still helps me for what I'm doing anyway, so we just increased that a little bit. And but I have to say the focus. So we're doing a lot of jiu-jitsu, a lot of grappling, a lot of wrestling, and just working on combat tactics for whoever my next fight will be.
Sure. Got to ask you, this morning Paul Daley went on his Facebook page and said that he's got 2 contracts on the table that he's looking to sign right now. First, he says he's going to fight John Fitch in May, and then he says there's going to be a summer showdown. I forget how he said it, a British summer showdown between yourself and him in British summertime. Tell me, first of all, what's kind of your reaction to that, and secondly, do you know about any of this?
No. I think Paul Daley makes up his own. He's in his own world. He kind of says whatever he wants to say, because one minute he wants to fight me and he calls me out. Straight afterwards he doesn't want to fight me, then calls me out again, then fights somebody else. Then he doesn't know what he wants. I personally believe he doesn't want to fight me, and I'm okay with that. I genuinely don't care. From the beginning, all I've said is, he said something that I found was disrespectful, and the best way 2 fighters can settle it is, instead of it being unnecessary exchanges outside, we could just settle it in the cage. That's where it started, and he's gone back and forward ever since. And for me, just based on the kind of stuff that's like come to pass, and I just genuinely think he's just jealous of my success in the time that I'd been in the sport. And he keeps going on about, I've been there, and when I was fighting in these gyms and that, and it's just 2 different paths. But he sees it as he deserves more respect, more this, more that, and this new kid on the block just comes in and causes a bit of noise. And I think even when we were friendly, and I think he still had that in the back of his head, and it's just coming out now.
Sure. I can imagine it's very frustrating for you. It's very frustrating for UK MMA fans who, look, let's face it, this is the biggest fight in UK MMA. The two biggest, I guess, British names in the welterweight division going at each other. Like, can you see on any possible terms that this fight ever happens?
No, like I say, if he actually decides to sign a fight,
Yeah.
then like I said, I'm okay to fight. I've been okay to fight for a very long time, and I haven't hidden that. It's not me that's been going back and forward. He even said it. He had a conversation with Ariel Hawani, and even in that conversation, he kind of, at the beginning, it's not about the money. At the end, it's about the money. At the beginning, it's not about not fighting me. He couldn't make the dates that Bellator had wanted him to make. At the end, he's like, I could fight every week. I want to fight every week. And it's just like, you're just all over the place. Yeah. And that's in like a 30-minute conversation. So I can't imagine how up and down you are just in everyday life. So for me, if the contract ends up in front of me, I'm signing it immediately. He's saying he's got 2 contracts in front of him, and this is the potential. Mate, just sign it. You don't need to tell it. Don't need to announce to the world. Just sign it. Let Bellator do their job and promote the fight. It's as simple as that.
Enough about Paul Daley. Let's talk about you now. What, like, in your ideal kind of circumstances, what happens to you for like the rest of the year now? Like, who do you want to fight? When do you want to fight? And what sport?
Yeah, you know what? Like I said, I'm doing both, and I'm doing both simply because I'm capable of doing both, and I genuinely believe that I'm able. I'm fighting is, I just enjoy fighting, and I think anybody that watches me fight can see that I enjoy combat. So I would like to, if I'm looking at the schedules, probably next month boxing fight, straight after that following month MMA fight, following month another MMA fight, straight into another boxing fight. That's my ideal. And at the minute, because it's going to be like 4 and 6 rounds for me, like I do that with my eyes closed and training like all the time. So there's no worry there. I'm not the kind of person that gets into, big ruckuses where I get knocked and busted up. That's not my style of fighting. My style of fighting is to be hit as minimal as possible and hit loads. And most of the time it pays off. And it happens that way because that's how I train. So this is where I say I don't think Bellator has too much to worry about in terms of allowing me to do that. Hopefully they come on side and they're like, you know what, yeah, do your thing. There's plenty of time for you to do that. Hopefully I get some big names. Yeah. There's quite a few big names now floating around. The welterweight division is just an exciting division, and I'm just looking forward to just displaying, while I'm here. So I'm just looking forward to fighting.
Sure. Just one last question. Like, how happy are you at the moment? Like, you feel, because I can feel just talking to you now, you seem almost a little frustrated as to the way things are panning out.
It's more frustration than anything, and obviously inactivity. And it's not all Bellator's fault. It's partly my fault as well, to injuries and stuff. But at the same time, for me, a lot of times I feel like I get held back a little bit because they're trying to be selective with the kind of shows they would like me on, and I come from a competition background where every weekend we was driving somewhere or flying somewhere to compete. I'm so used to being active that this inactivity, I think, is working against me because I'm just training a lot and I'm kind of beating my own body up. And then when it comes time to actually perform, some injuries are going to happen. It's bound to happen anyway. But I think it's worse when I'm just constantly just pushing myself non-stop. And it's just to keep myself tuned in. It's very difficult when I don't have a goal to I'm not working towards anything. Managing your weight, having to weight cut because potential fighting and there's a lot that goes on. So I think just there's quite a few things that are frustrating me, and I think once there's a fight in front of me, all of that gets shifted to one side, and I can focus again. And that's it.
Great stuff. And actually, just one more last one as well. You're standing in front of a Polaris Jiu-Jitsu veteran there. Like, any interest in doing this maybe in the future?
I love Jiu-Jitsu. I think this is, as soon as I left the kickboxing, Jiu-Jitsu is one of the first really brand new things that I did with wrestling. But at the same time, wrestling I struggled to get, and Jiu-Jitsu I kind of fell into. I love the chess game. I really like it. Don't get me wrong, I've gotten better at the wrestling side. I really enjoy the wrestling as well, but Jiu-Jitsu is something that, I'd love to come and do a show. Benson Henderson's going to be here today, so It's not uncommon to see MMA fighters, because we do practice Jiu-Jitsu, because we need it when we're in the cage, to actually come and do a Jiu-Jitsu competition. So maybe in future I might be here.
coming to a Polaris show near you soon. That's Michael Venom Page. Thanks for your time, man.
Yes.